Hey Vikas, welcome to our first series of Prax Convos. Wonderful to have you here. One question that everyone asks us is, at what capacity have health tech companies been operating since the last couple of weeks? Whether from the demand side, have you seen certain segments completely spiral out and increase demand? On the supply side, availability of doctors, medical staff, delivery personnel, uh, other sort of supply chain operations. What's happening on the ground?
I think health tech is a very broad term, and there are multiple aspects to it. So, pure content, a complete digital system for content is also which is focused on healthcare. A company which is focused on doing just HCP Connect digitally. Again, those are very different from a transactional business in health tech that you want to define. So, coming specifically, I think your question is more aligned on the health tech for continuity of transactional services. Two aspects to it. Yes, there has been a jump in demand. The demand largely, as I mentioned, was there to two facts. One, being essential service, being the service that is the need as a need from the consumer. The avenues available were limited, and being a health tech company in that segment, there was an increased demand that we saw. There are certain segments, there are certain value proposition which were existing, but they saw new level of adoption. So telemedicine, for example, now you cannot step out even if you're a healthy person to go to a doctor clinic, but you have a mild fever or flu-like symptoms. You do want to consult a doctor for the peace of your mind. Now, going to a hospital is risky. You are more vulnerable or susceptible to catching a disease there. And if you are, in fact, a patient who is an infectious person right now, then the chances of you spreading to other persons is again more. So, telemedicine becomes a very important tool in that. On our platform, we saw around 440% jump in the queries for flu, fever, and temperature-related aspects that were there. In the last month or so, there has also been a significant jump in the orders request for masks, sanitizer, immunity products, and that has something to do with the education and awareness which the segment overall has done, be it government, be it organizations, be it public domain companies, where they're spreading the awareness and the right information around what are the do's and don'ts on that front. So it's contributed to that. Secondly, there has been instance of panic buying or hoarding, which has also resulted into increased demand, where chronic patient worrying about the supply have ordered a 2x or 3x of their required quantities or monthly supply as compared to what they would have normally ordered. And then the last bit is again so much misinformation floating around. As a responsible and category leader in content, we have been sharing content that is useful for the consumer, and the challenge has been twofold. I think there is a lot of content, and at times the content tends to be partial. It is factually all right, but it doesn't answer all your questions. What we did was we took an approach where all the content would be well researched, well referenced, and complete in all sense. So if you're picking a topic, all your questions and FAQs will be answered in that. And instead of doing a short half a page or 5 line content, we did 4 5 pager, 3 pager, easy to understand content, which was appreciated and well received and went viral with our consumers. And we did start doing a video series as well. So that's around some of the transactional and content effort that we are doing for the consumers who are coming to the platform.
What about the supply side and the whole on-ground story? With the whole regulations and the permissions, is everything transparent on the ground? Are people getting the permission to move around? Has government done enough, objectively and clearly across authorities to allow people who are sort of delivering essential services? Are you seeing some disruption? What about availability of supply, etc., for people to deliver? There's been a mass labor movement. Have you got the staff necessary, etc., and not just you, across other health tech and sort of online pharma companies?
If you look at any change cycle or any disruption cycle, it goes through a phase of uncertainty, then chaos, and then stability. I don't imagine the magnitude of change or disruption that we have brought upon ourselves just to make sure that the safety and well-being of the citizens is taken care. Now, to go through that, obviously, understanding and implementing at this mass scale would have its own set of challenges. So it had its phase of chaos, and then it quickly stabilized. I think you need to be cognizant of the fact that we as the ground level operations come into being, there is a lot of layered information that has to follow through to actually get understood at the grassroots level. I would like to commend the government in making sure that there was a swift and transparent action being taken to make sure that the continuity of essential services there. The speed at which it was implemented is superly magnificent, and again, the use of technology played a very significant role. I think within 24 hours of the notification, there was a lot of chaos and confusion, and we started hearing updates from the right authorities that this is how it will be allowed. So whether it's an e-pass, whether it has to get a physical pass, or whether you have to get a SMS or just get a ID of yours, and the circulars where certain organization names were added to the list and circulated across districts and servicemen, that was pretty fast and pretty efficient. I think the gap which happened was the response where a certain area problem on ground was identified and the action being taken. Wherever you reached out to the right set of authorities for a challenge being faced on ground, they reacted swiftly and it was addressed. There were instances where we faced significant challenge on ground in the first 24 to 48 hours, but they started disappearing as and when this information flow started getting shared on social media, right information from the authorities to the ground personnel, and we able to communicate directly with them. There has been a significant effort gone in those 24-48 hours of the initial 7 days, where from 0% to almost 75-80% of the efficiency was reached on the operational front. But today, with interstate also moving, almost 80-85% of the capacity in terms of operational capability have been reached. On the supply side, there are certain issues, and it's not related to the understanding at the grassroots level or whatever, but it is the nature of business. Certain distributors are facing a challenge where if one person is identified or asked to quarantine and the facility is closed, or you're not able to get the manpower. So today the challenge is how to keep all the requirements for the safety of your employees and workers and get the desired result achieved. So transportation has become one of the biggest challenge for the employees to come to the warehouse, because there is no public transport available. So you have to arrange for the public for their movement by buses or cars or whatever. Now the challenge is for each individual to have a temperature screening before he boards, and then once he boards, instead of the 40 people that can sit in a bus, you need to have lesser number of people sitting, maintaining the social distance. And then same at the warehouse level, same at the shifts and everything. So those are still the challenges that we are facing. It significantly impacts the cost of doing business, but what is necessary needs to be done, and ensuring the safety of the frontline workers is something paramount. So in terms of challenges, again, these are part and parcel of the overall value chain. There is an ancillary challenge that has come because of it. For example, you have everything, you have a worker, you have the supplies, but if you don't have the packaging material, then everything becomes a challenge. Now, packaging material is not part of essential services, then how do you address that? So there are some unique challenges that this situation has thrown to us, and we are learning and moving forward. So as I mentioned, it's one problem at a time you solve and you move forward.
Thanks, Vikas. It's always been fantastic talking to you, and thanks so much for your time. We sincerely wish you and 1MG all the best, and you guys hopefully continue with the growth trajectory you guys have been on. And stay safe. Wish all the best and all the health to you, your friends, colleagues, family, everyone. So thank you so much.